Good evening. As you hear that music under my voice, you know it's time for yet again another edition of your weekly word. Thank you for joining me. This week we continue in Proverbs chapter 7. If you had missed any of the previous broadcasts, please do not hesitate to contact me or Lucille via WhatsApp and we'll happily pass it over to you. Chapter 7 starts off by saying, "Son, remember what I say, and never forget what I tell you to do. Do what I say, and you will live. Be as careful to follow my teaching as you are to protect your eyes. Keep my teaching with you all the time. Write it on your heart. Treat wisdom as your sister, and insight as your closest friend. They will keep you away from other men's wives, from women with seductive words." You see, ladies, as in chapter 6, God continues in chapter 7 by talking about seduction, or ending seduction off in a way, by saying, stay away from seductive women. Why? Because I think God has such a pain and such a anger or bitterness almost, if God can be bitter at all against sexual sin, because He knows it destroys the person and the person with which that person is in relationship with. Even the one that seduces him destroys her or himself. But you see, we don't see that, because what is the method, or what is the reason that men and women seduce each other? It's all born out of pride. I repeat, it's all born out of pride. Why do I say that? I say that because we've got this pride issue, that if I'm successful, if I've got enough money, blah blah blah, I need not continue, then I can have the most beautiful woman as well. Nevertheless, we might be in the position that we've got a beautiful, humble, God-fearing wife at home. But oh no, because of pride, she's not good enough. And she doesn't know that I'm busy sleeping or fooling around with my secretary at work. You see, ladies, it's all about pride. That's why we get into sexual sin with other women and other men. It's to prove a point. I can do this because I'm able to. I can do this because no one will catch me out. But what happens if we get caught out? Then we want to cry our eyes out. Then we want to be sorry. Then it's too little too late, my friend. Let me tell you today, God warns us to stay faithful to our partners. As we will now continue in chapter 7, you will see Him talking again about the immoral woman. I didn't even see it, but let's continue with this chapter and we will read together further. It's titled there, amply again, the immoral woman. Let me continue there. Once I was looking out the window of my house, and I saw many inexperienced young men, but no one noticed one foolish fellow in particular. He was walking along the street near the corner where a certain woman lived. He was passing near her house in the evening after it was dark. Excuse me, ladies. And then she met him. She was dressed like a prostitute and was making plans. She was a bold and shameless woman who always walked the streets or stood waiting, sometimes in the marketplace. She threw her arms around the young man, kissed him, looked him straight in the eye and said, "I made my offerings today and have meat from the sacrifice. So I came out looking for you. I wanted to find you, and here you are. I've covered my bed with sheets of covered linen from Egypt. I've perfumed it with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come on, let's make love all night long. We'll be happy in each other's arms. My husband isn't home. He's on a long trip. He took plenty of money with him and won't be back for 2 weeks." So she tempted him with her charms, and he gave into her smooth talk. Suddenly he was going with her like an ox on the way to be slaughtered, like a deer plunging into a trap where an arrow would pierce his heart. He was like a bird going into a net. He did not know that his life was in danger. Now then, sons, listen to me. Pay attention to what I say. Do not let such wonder, excuse me, ladies. Do not let such a woman win your heart. Don't go wandering after her. She has been the ruin of many men and caused the death of too many to count. If you go to her house, you are in the way of the world. You are in the way of the world of the dead. It is a shortcut to death. What happens when we sleep with another woman or another man? We kill ourselves. We kill our relationships. We kill those dear to us, that trust us. You see, the devil is behind that trust, because if he can break the trust between us and our partners, he's got us in a way. So that's why he does what he does. And now you say, but how can it kill me? Yes, ladies, it can't maybe kill you physically in the interim, but it can kill you spiritually, it can kill you emotionally, it can kill you in every other way. And then later on, if this continues for years and years, you might die from an STD or whatever the case might be. But the point I'm trying to make, it kills you emotionally, it kills you in a way that you won't recover again, because it destroys trust. Trust is the key word here, like I alluded to just now. And I think it's important for us to know, before we commit adultery in any way or whatever, or do whatever we think is good at the time. Maybe you feel your husband or your wife is not paying enough attention, but the guy at work or the woman at work is paying you compliments, and you think they are so nice. Think again, because that's a trap. That's a trap from Satan. Because you see, he uses sex to seduce you. Why do you think the movies out there, the movies, most of them being created today, is full of sex? He knows it plays with our mind, and he wants our minds, because he wants to form a stronghold. Ladies and gents, everyone that is listening to this broadcast, please do not give in. Pray about this to stay strong, because the marriage is sacred. Marriage is a sacred gift from God to be enjoyed by husbands and wives in holy matrimony. Because if you have sex with your wife, it's a gift from God, because you are married in the eyes of God. You are married, and therefore you may enjoy each other's bodies, like we read most of in Song of Songs. So ladies and gents, before you even think of going towards another woman or falling for someone because they treat you well, or they say the right things at the right time, please pray about it, because it's a trap from Satan. Ask the Lord to strengthen your relationship with your husband, with your wife, because that is the man or the woman that God desires for you to have, not a flues around the corner, or a relationship at work with whoever, but with your husband or your wife. Ladies, if Satan can't get to destroy that, he can't destroy us in any way. But you see, he starts with our closest relationship, which is our husband or our wife. If he gets to break that, he can break us in other ways as well. But if we keep that strong, then he can't get to us at all. Because if we stand on the word and we do what Proverbs says here, by staying faithful and not falling into traps of seductive women and men, then he can't get to us. So I implore you, ladies, pray about your relationships and guard them closely, because that is the most treasured relationship we will ever have on this earth, except for apart from our relationship with God. I thank you for listening to me this week. Next week we continue in Proverbs 8. Do enjoy your week, and goodbye. God bless.